With Mafia 3 being announced, which is just awesome news, I personally wasn't sure if it was going to happen or not, but if you remember, it took 8 years between Mafia 1 and 2, so it's a long time. So I thought I'd take a little look back at Mafia 2, remembering how fucking amazing it is. And it's 80% off on Steam. If you haven't bought it, buy it. It's amazing. It's as close to a 10 out of 10 game as you can get, along with like Arkham Asylum. Now, the DLCs are also on sale. Jimmy's Vendetta and Joe's Adventures. The DLCs are shit for this game. They are what you think of when you think of crappy shit little DLC. There's very little story, which is a big focus of this game. There's very little story. There's only a couple cutscenes. It's very lazy, very poorly done. Kind of feels like stuff that maybe was stripped out of the game because it was shit, but then they decided to sell it as DLC, which is not representative of the actual game, because the game is so fucking good and has so much care and attention to little details in it. You've also got the 4 little packs, which come with 2 outfits and 2 vehicles each. These are still pretty shit DLC. At the price they are now, in the sale, which is I think 39p, and the 2 big DLCs are £1.21, these are less worth it than the bigger DLCs. But if the price wasn't on sale, I would say these 4 DLCs are probably more worth it, because you get 8 new vehicles, which are really fun and really cool to just mess about in. Now, it's weird because this game has a weird structure. It's not open world, but it's divided into chapters, and each chapter is a different save state of the world, and at different points in the game you can store vehicles in your garage and upgrade them, and depending on what chapter that is, it will be in that save state of that chapter. It's very strange, very strange. I've played this game through 4 times. Twice when it came out, I traded it in because that was when I used to trade games in, but I don't do that anymore because I'm on PC and you can refund games now, but that's not trading in. And then it came on PlayStation Plus last year, and I played through it twice again at Christmas. So good. It's unbelievably amazing. I mean, I played this game when I was 13, and even back then I knew this game is fucking one of the best games ever. I've never played the first one. I may go back to it and try it out before Mafia 3 releases. I kind of dread that because I worry that I would hate it because it's an old game and old games were unforgiving back then, and I worry that I would fucking hate it and it would kind of ruin it. But I may go back and try it. But for this video, we are looking at how good Mafia 2 was, a little look at the first hour or so of the game. We're going to go right into that right now. Now, the graphics look okay for a 2010 game. I don't think they were the game's strong point. Don't look bad. They look pretty good. The cars look really nice though. I mean, it helps that I fucking absolutely love the 40s and the 50s with the music and the way the cars look. What's weird is that the graphics actually look a bit better in-game. This is probably like a console cutscene that they've just used for the PC port. So the game starts with a World War II section, basically to introduce you to the gameplay mechanics, the shooting and the cover mechanics, basically. Because this game is a cover shooter, but it's got some of the most refined gameplay, I think, of any cover shooter out there. Now, I'm playing the game with a 360 controller just because there's a lot of driving in the game, and driving with a mouse and keyboard is horrible. Now, the shooting just feels great. It feels great the way the enemies react to being shot. There's a lot of impact. It's just a really good third-person shooter, at least for the gameplay. It's weird. There's no other section like this in the entire game. It's just for the first chapter. So I thought this would be a good time to talk about Mafia 3, which was announced for an announcement, which is a bit strange. Now, there will be a picture on the screen of the announcement picture, and it seems, at least to me and to other people, that the cars in the background are 70s/80s muscle cars. Now this is very different because it's set about, if that is true, if it is in the 70s or the 80s, then that's about 30 years ahead of this game. So it's quite a big change in time period, which will be interesting to see with the guns and the vehicles. But that's another great time for music. So, because the music, driving around with the radio on this game is just bliss. It's unbelievably awesome. Now, there was a rumour back in March of 2014, March 12th, that it was going to be set in Louisiana and going to have a open world New Orleans. Now, that was a rumour, so we don't know if that's actually true or not. I don't know much of Louisiana, so I'm not sure if that would be a good setting or not. Switch to the automatic weapon, which is very fun to use. Going the wrong way. Readjusting to the controls. The guns are so fucking awesome, especially with the destructible terrain. It just makes for some awesome shootouts. It's so fucking good, the gameplay. It's so unbelievably good. Now, the game is not being made by the same studio as Mafia 2, which has me worried a bit. It's made by Hangar 13, newly formed studio. I am slightly fucking worried. I am slightly worried about that. I mean, it was made by 2K Czech, I believe, this game. I don't know if the newly formed Hangar 13 has any of the same members or not. Hopefully it fucking does. It has a member from LucasArts that worked in the 1990s to 2000s. You can die pretty fast in this game, even on normal difficulty. It's very much in the cover shooter vein of, if you're not in cover, you're going to die very fast. Oh, so good. The fucking gameplay's so good. So the other half of this game is the characters and the story. It's a big part of this game, if not the bigger half, which doesn't make any sense. But you know what I mean by that. The characters are so well voice acted, and the characters are so enjoyable to be around. So you have that basically big action bit at the beginning of the game, and you come to the calm part now, where you return home to see your family, and you don't get to drive, but you get to hear some of the awesome music in this game, which unfortunately I can't have on because of copyright, but you get to see the awesome city in the 1940s in the snow. Driving is a big part of this game. Look at the reflections on the vehicles, they look fucking awesome. Driving is, and can be, very realistic if you want it to. There is an option to have driving mode normal and simulation. Simulation is very difficult. Cars fucking bounce around, they spin out. It's pretty damn awesome, but very hard to drive in. Normal is a bit more safer, but the driving is awesome. I mean, the way the cars bounce around and wobble around is just really fun to watch. It's a great way to introduce you to the city by not making you drive and have your attention focused on trying to drive. You can just look around and listen to the conversation. It's so awesome to watch the interaction between the characters in this game. And there's a lot of attention to detail in things you wouldn't expect, and I would have loved to have seen what they could do if they had a bigger budget, because I feel like they wanted to do so much more with it, but they didn't really have the budget, or maybe the time to make it. So I'm hoping with Mafia 3, because it's been so long, that they're going to pull out the stops for it and really do a lot more with it that they wanted to do with Mafia 2. I mean, if I was to explain this game in maybe a weird way, that maybe some people will be like, what are you talking about, you fucking idiot? But it's kind of like the Uncharted of 1940s/50s Godfather Mafia games. Does that make any sense at all? I hope it does. So you get to walk home to your mother's, and some games have problems with introducing too many characters too quickly, but this game does do that, but it pulls it off without even like a lift of a finger. The game has some real emotional moments as well, like heart-wrenching moments, because you're so connected with these characters.
Yeah, sure.
Vito, you know better.
Sorry, Mama, sorry.
You can tell the game has some like kind of outdated visuals in places, and that's, I really think, down to, I think 2K don't like to give big budgets to stuff, which is a real shame. I mean, I don't think this game needs a big budget, but if they'd just given a little bit more. The movement is so well done as well. It doesn't feel clunky or awkward. You don't feel like you're walking into things. It's so well done. And just, they've made everything memorable. Just the rooms and the way things are placed around. It's just awesome. I just love it. Where you can go in your bed. You can interact with the world in ways that GTA 5 doesn't even let you do. You can fill up for gas, you can open windows, you can turn on faucets, you can go for a beer at your fridge, you can go for a sandwich at your fridge, you can turn the radio on. It's just so many things to immerse you in this world. And as you can see, these are the mini pack outfits you get. Just some cool things, nothing too crazy. I should probably, since I've come back from Sicily, I should put some war hero outfit on. A little bit strange, but why not? And not to spoil anything, but this game does take place over a decent amount of time. And the way I like to compare it into Enchanted is just how effortlessly it flows between chapter to chapter, and how effortlessly it flows to next gameplay segment to next gameplay segment. The game lets you play the parts you want to play, and the game lets you watch the bits you want to watch. The game has a melee system which isn't really used too much, but it's perfectly serviceable, and it feels pretty good as well. It's pretty fun. Simple but fun.
You'll get yourself into more trouble, Vito. Stop, please! Vito, what are you doing?
The game has some weird, like, side stuff that you wouldn't expect. It doesn't mark it on the map. You just find it and do it for yourself. It has this kind of, like, Deus Ex-y feel where you just come across stuff. And this is one of those times.
Is it fixed yet?
It's the same as when you asked me 10 seconds ago.
Crying out loud.
What the hell's the matter with you now?
It's taking you forever and I'm cold.
Sit in the damn car if you're cold.
It's cold in the car, too. Hurry up and fix this piece of junk.
It'll get done a hell of a lot quicker if you quit nagging me and give me a hand.
I am not nagging you.
Yeah, huh? Well, if you're as good with a wrench as you were with your mouth, we could have this damn thing fixed already.
You are so useless. No wonder the army wouldn't take you.
Look at that. You had to bring that up again, didn't you?
Ethel's husband Frank, he's a fighter pilot. Margaret's husband Charlie, he drives a submarine.
I'm warning you.
My husband? Oh, he's a 4F. He works at the grocery store.
You know what? Fix it yourself then, you lousy bitch!
And you're like, oh, just a conversation. But no. You can fix it.
Hey, need a hand?
Sure do. Hope you're better at this thing than my good-for-nothing husband.
There we go, all done. I just needed to screw a couple things in.
Really? Well, thank you very much, handsome.
Don't mention.
And you get an achievement for it, which is a nice little touch. You know, there are some really memorable parts of the world. You know, you can... It's so iconic, this road and that red place there, which is the apartment, because I'm an idiot. And the drive to the garage and the drive up to the freeway. See, look here, you can turn lights on and off, you can open windows. It's just nice little interactions with the world.
This is bad.
We ain't getting out at all. Come on in, let's talk.
You disgusting pig.
This is Joe's place. It goes through various forms throughout the entirety of the game. You can have a look around.
What, are you kidding me?
You can grab some food, a beer, some cola. And if you're low on health, you get some health from that. You can turn on the faucets.
Go ahead, there's plenty of hot water.
I mean, look at that as well. He interacted. He reacted to me coming into the bathroom. Turn the shower on and off.
This is where I'm gonna sleep.
Yep, all yours.
You made enough cash for all
You can
this?
turn the radio on.
More like the last 3 months.
Change the stations, but I've got that off because copyright. What's weird is that you're down here, he's up there, and then, ta-da, he's out here. So if you haven't played this game, I don't want to spoil it because it's, you know, I really don't want to spoil it because that would be a dick move. So I'm not going to say something, but the driving goes through a form later on in the game, a different form. The driving is really damn good. It's really damn good. I mean, I prefer it to a game like Grand Theft Auto, but they are different settings, so that could have something to do with it. But I think just the driving is just a lot more involved in this and more accurate, and it takes maybe a bit longer to get used to if you're not used to it, but it has some weight towards it, and you can do some really awesome drifts, and not all cars are super slow, and when you get up to speed you feel like you're going at speed, and I've just crashed because I'm useless. Now this is one of those other attention to detail type of things. There's the speedometer there, and there's a gas icon right there, and there's a light right next to it, and if the light goes on you have to get gas, and you can get gas right here, and you can be like, the gas station, alright, buy some gas, and then he comes out and he fills it up for you, and it's just really awesome. And you can rob him if you want, you can get gun out, he'll put his hands up, when you run away he'll call the police. And what's weird is that when you'll never run out of gas. You'll never run out of gas, at least unless you try to. You can run out of gas, but when you do run out of gas, you can still keep driving. It just keeps stopping every now and then, but then after a while it'll get going again, and then it'll stop, but then it'll start going again, which is a bit strange. You're introduced to another little mechanic here.
Get a load of that bait.
You meet this guy who I'm not gonna even try to pronounce the fucking name of. But it gives you a lockpick, and you can lockpick cars. And the lockpicking minigame is very simple, but it's great. It's basic, but it works really well. So there are a couple shops in the game you can go around, like a bar, and also like you can buy stuff for your cars when you get a place to store them later on. And you can also go into clothes shops to buy stuff. There are a couple of main gun dealers around the place later on in the game.
Take this lock. You just need to insert the pick into the lock and lift all the pins. You use the wrench to hold the.
You use the wrench.
When all of the pins are set.
Very simple, but it works brilliantly. You just press X when it goes green. Simple but satisfying. I think you'll appreciate this game a lot more if you like the time setting. Fallout New Vegas is my favourite game of all time, so, you know, the setting in terms of music and the way things kind of look, you can either smash the window or lockpick. Smashing it reduces its value, and the police, there are police in the game. They are pretty brutal when they get up higher star rating. At the moment, they're just trying to arrest me. There's a weird bug. This is a bit strange. Well, this is a weird bug. Okay then, that's very strange. I've never seen this. This game has been like never bugged out on me once. Well, that's weird. There's a first for everything, I guess. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this. Will it ever stop? This is weird. This is very strange. What the fuck? Wow. Weird. Will it stop? Will it stop? Who knows? Nobody knows. Oh dear. I may have to stop. Oh dear. Can we... Shit. There's no retry checkpoint. Oh bollocks. That's bad. There's got to be a way out of this, surely. Oh, there we go. That was very strange. That was fucking weird. But as I was saying, you can surrender to the police. You can pay them a bribe. You can escape the police and go to a telephone and ring the chief of police and pay off your wanted level there. And this bug has happened again. What the fuck? What's happened? This is very strange. This is weird as fuck. I've never had a bug happen to me in this game. The 4 times I've played through it, this has never happened. That's weird. Wow. This is weird. This has never happened. Joe, what happened? We're stuck in slow motion. Vito, what's happening? Help me. Joe, what did you do, Joe? You took the slow-mo pill? What the fuck is that? Vito, I'm tripping balls right now. You need to get back in the car. Alright then. Very weird. Fuck. What am I gonna do? What the shit has happened? What the fuck? This is weird as balls. Weird as balls. Weird as balls. Get back in, Joe. We're back in. Vito, help me. I think this will run out at some point. Ah, there we go. That was weird. It was like the tutorial was broken on terms of showing you how the police system worked.
All right, let's go find ourselves a body shop. They provide the kind of service.
There are body shops around the place, and they do what you would expect.
Don't worry about it. I got it covered. Just find any body shop. I know the guy who runs it.
Well,
I will try to go in backwards, but it didn't work.
what can I do you for, pal?
The police system is much more robust than a game like GTA.
No license plate. For you, no problem. There you go.
You can even repaint the car. You can do basic tuning, and then once you've done basic tuning, you can do advanced tuning, and some cars even do like a third tier of tuning. Compare the car, change the rims.
Bring it by anytime.
You can change the car, not dramatically in terms of bodywork, but you can, make it look nicer. There's a couple of camera angles you can change between. You can go to the bonnet, or just nothing to the wheel, which is a nice little cinematic camera. But there's no cockpit view, which would be nice for Mafia 3, I think. The cars are a force in this game. They are a big force. Once you get up momentum, it's quite hard to stop, especially in these cars. Now, the cops will aggro on you if you're going above the speed limit, which means you can turn on a speed limiter, which will not let you go above the speed limit if you don't want to be caught by the police. So the game will not let me go above 40. And on the freeway it's 70, but you can go much faster than that. So the game is basically just teaching you the very cool but basic mechanics.
Shit, Mike, you can wash your fucking hands once in a while. Now I need a fucking bed.
It takes a little bit to get to the parts where you can wander around on your own.
What? The same fucking
Some people probably don't even realise you can wander around on your own.
What are you, from the health department, or you want to do some business?
But you don't have to do what the game says. You can just wander around, but there isn't much to do, which is probably the only fault of the game, is the fact that you've got this open world, but there's nothing to do in it at all. There's literally nothing. There's like a couple of things, and that's it. So I think I end the video there. That was a nice little return to Mafia 2. Always a pleasure to return to this game. If you haven't played it, play it. I think you'll fucking love it, because it's an unbelievably good ride through a amazing campaign. Don't play the DLCs. They're rubbish, which is a shame. But I am looking forward to Mafia 3. My only worry is that they'll fuck it up because it's a new developer. I don't know if they've got any of the same developers from that or not. Hopefully they do. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.